If one of your goals this year is to be booked out with client work when it comes to your photography business, then you need to have a marketing strategy. Basically, how are you going to find clients or get clients to find you? There are a ton of different marketing strategies you can use, but what I'm discussing in today's video is 5 things every marketing strategy needs in order to be successful. So if success looks like consistently booking 5K projects, if success looks like working with 3 to 4 clients a month, if success looks like making food photography a full-time business, or maybe success looks like working with dream clients such as cookbooks and magazines, or seeing your pictures on billboards. If success looks like being able to work part-time but still making a substantial amount of money, then these 5 things need to be a part of your marketing strategy. Whether you're using cold pitching as your marketing strategy, whether you're using LinkedIn, whether you're using Instagram, every single marketing strategy is going to need these 5 essentials. What are they, you ask? Let's jump straight into them. So the first element that any marketing strategy needs is to have reflection. Now, what do I mean when I say reflection? Chances are that if you're watching this video, you've been trying to get clients for the last 3 months, 6 months, maybe a year, maybe even longer. And you're also likely doing some form of marketing, right? Whether it's posting to Instagram or maybe cold pitching. But in the time that you've been marketing your business, have you done any reflection on that marketing? So what do I mean when I say reflection? When looking at your marketing efforts over the last 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, have you looked at what's working for you? What's not working for you? If you've gotten a few clients, do you know where they came from? If you haven't gotten any clients yet, are you just repeating the same marketing strategy again and again and hoping that you're suddenly going to start seeing results, even though you haven't so far? As Albert Einstein said, repeating the same thing over and over again and then expecting different results is the definition of insanity. So what you want to do is really reflect back on the marketing strategy that you've been using so far in your food photography business and ask yourself these basic questions. What's worked? What hasn't worked? What should I be doing more of? What should I be letting go of? So an example is when I did my own audit of my business for last year, and I was really surprised to know that networking was one of the biggest ways that I actually brought in new food photography clients. I was expecting it to be something like cold pitching, which I do a lot of. But it was only during this audit that I did of my business where I reflected on what had worked and what hadn't worked that I realized that it was actually networking. And I talk a lot more about that in this video here. And so for this year, networking is a huge focus of mine because I know it's worked. So this is something I really want to double down on moving forward, but I wouldn't have known that had I not reflected on my business. So I highly recommend you do a quick reflection on your marketing strategy that you've used so far. Look at any data you have inside of your business. Look at any numbers that you have. Even just simple things like looking at the number of clients that you've brought into your business and where did they come from? Or if you haven't gotten any clients, well, what marketing activities have you been doing so far? Because clearly they haven't worked as well as you'd want. So how can you pivot and change and explore other strategies moving forward? That's what you want to be reflecting on, and that's a super important element to have as part of your marketing strategy moving forward. And this is where so many photographers go wrong because they'll look at somebody else's strategy and they'll see, oh, okay, well, cold pitching is working for them, so let me try that. Or everybody on Instagram is telling me to use Instagram, so that's what I'm going to do. Or this particular educator on YouTube is saying LinkedIn is the strategy to go for. And whilst all of this advice is great and it works for those that are seeing success with it, you are an individual and your business is very specific. So my job as an educator and a mentor is to show you all the possibilities, but your job as the CEO of your photography business is to reflect on your own current business and your own current marketing strategies. Take the information that is available to you, be it through a course or on YouTube, and then decide and develop a new strategy that will work best for you based on your particular situation. And just a quick note here, it's not just reflection on the past and what has worked and what hasn't worked, but also the vision for the future and how you see your business developing and what your goals are for the future. So for example, for me in particular, I know that I like to take the summer months off so that I can spend time traveling with my children who are off school at that time. As well as the fact that besides my normal food photography business and working with clients, I'm also an educator. So part of my revenue is coming in through courses. So those are very nuanced things that I need to be focusing on when I'm building out my own marketing strategy. And it's very particular and individual to me. So the biggest mistake that I see is people looking over at another photographer who's successful, copying their marketing strategy and not customizing to their business or their goals. Okay, let's look at the second element that every single successful marketing strategy needs, and that's to examine who you are and what makes you stand out. And this is a hard one. At the end of the day, we're now living in a day and age where it's super easy to become a food photographer. Information to hone your skills is more readily available through free content on YouTube as well as paid courses. But also, equipment for photography has become so much cheaper. And so you're seeing a lot more photographers on the market. And not just average photographers, but photographers who are really good. So then how are you going to stand out in this market? What makes you special? If there were, say, 10 photographers out there whose skill levels are exactly the same, and they're taking amazing photos, and maybe their pricing is exactly the same, why would a client want to pick you over them? Because remember, another photographer can copy the type of photos you take. They can copy your lighting, they can copy your editing style, but one thing they can't copy is you. Another photographer can't be you. So this is a really deep question that you really want to sit down with and examine and come up with different ways in which you, not just as a photographer, but as a person and as a CEO of your business, can really stand out from the market and build trust. Because let me tell you, this is what's going to help convert strangers and brands into paying customers. The mistake that photographers make is thinking that their photos and their skills and how good they are with composition and maybe how many backgrounds they own and what props they have, that's what's going to get clients to book them. But in today's market, where everyone's taking amazing photos and everyone has great lighting and everyone has great editing, you need to go beyond just great photos and stand out as a person and as a marketer and as a business to convert brands into clients. So you really want to leverage your own creativity and lean into what are your gifts, what makes you unique, and how can you bring that forward in your marketing strategy and in your messaging and in your content to attract clients. That's how you're going to stand out. Brands and clients are attracted to people and humans and connections and not just a pretty photo anymore. Just like how content has changed over the years on Instagram, where we started off posting still photos with filters. Then we moved on to pretty photos and cohesive feeds. Then now it's Instagram Reels and more short form video content. Marketing has also changed and what people want has also changed. And if you're a business and you're not keeping up with that and you're still using these same marketing strategies from 5 years ago, then that's a surefire way of not reaching your revenue goals and not booking clients on a consistent basis. Okay, let's move on to the third element that your marketing or any marketing strategy needs in order to book clients and to make money. And this is a basic one, but bear with me, and that's consistency. And trust me, it's missing from a lot of marketing strategies that I see photographers having. Good old consistency. And here I'm not just talking about posting consistently to Instagram. No. What I am talking about is consistently working on your marketing. And your marketing funnel is actually made up of 3 parts. You have your traffic right at the top, then you have your leads in the middle, and then you have your clients. And if you're not familiar with marketing funnels, I'll be talking more about that in my live training series that's coming up. So you can actually register for that using the link in description box below. So during this live training, besides going over my entire marketing funnel, I'll also be talking about the different marketing strategies that I use to book high budget clients into my business, as well as how to even differentiate a low budget client from a high budget one. So make sure you sign up for that. But let's come back to marketing funnels. So you want to consistently be working on this marketing funnel. And so that's driving traffic to your work, then turning that traffic into leads, and then booking those leads into clients. So you want to consistently be growing your audience of traffic, leads, and clients, whether that's through cold outreach, whether that's through search engine optimization, whether that's through posting reels on Instagram. And then you consistently need to be nurturing that traffic in order to turn them into potential clients, whether that's through an email newsletter or perhaps following up on pitches and just general touch points. And then once you book your clients, your job's not done, right? You've worked with them, but there has to be some sort of consistency in maintaining your relationship with them over the long term, and then engaging with them regularly in order to get rebooked and have retainers inside your business. So the mistake here that photographers make is they're always trying to work on booking clients, right? Let's post to Instagram. But what they really need to be working on is getting that traffic and leads into their business. So most photographers are actually doing it backwards by focusing on clients, but what you really want to be doing is consistently growing your audience with potential traffic and leads, nurturing them. And then if you do that consistently, then the sales and booking clients will come automatically. Okay, let's move on to the fourth element that is a must inside any marketing strategy, and that is to have proactive marketing. So gone are the days when you post a pretty picture and then you're inundated with emails from potential brands wanting to work with you. Everyone posts a pretty picture nowadays. There are more than 8 billion people in the world, over 8 billion websites in the world, over 334 million businesses in the world, over 2.4 billion Instagram users in this world. And all of these people are trying to get your attention. So instead of waiting for clients to find you, instead of trying to get their attention on Instagram, you want to be proactive when it comes to your marketing and be willing to put yourself out there. And so proactive means going out and finding clients rather than waiting for them to find you. And again, there are a ton of different ways besides posting to Instagram that you could be utilizing, such as networking, Facebook ads, email marketing, and cold pitching, to name a few. Now, I often hear food photographers saying, "Hey, I've tried everything. It hasn't worked for me." And then when you dive deeper into their marketing strategies, there's likely 2 reasons why it hasn't worked. Provided you already take amazing photos and you're still not seeing results, it's either because you're not being proactive with your marketing or you're not being consistent, which was the last point that I made. And so that's why being proactive and getting out there and putting your name out there is so important, because you are in charge. Okay, the next element that you want to have as part of your marketing strategy, and maybe I should have said this one right at the beginning, is to have the correct foundational assets. So here's the thing. We talked about having a marketing funnel, right? And attracting all of this traffic and then nurturing them and then turning these leads into clients. But before you even start attracting traffic into your world and introducing them to your portfolio and to your work and to your photos, you want to have some foundational assets ready. Some of these include knowing exactly who your ideal client is, because if you don't know the kind of client that you're targeting, then how do you know what kind of content, what kind of imagery, what kind of messaging is going to attract them? Number 2, a strong portfolio that is geared towards this ideal client, so that as soon as they land on your portfolio, they know straight away that you are the person to take photos for their brands and their restaurant and their product. 3, an optimized Instagram profile, so that when you're putting content out there into the world and trying to attract your ideal client, they know exactly who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. And again, why are you the right person and why should they trust you to help them? Number 4, a cold pitch email template that actually converts strangers into clients. That's to the point, that's personalized, that gets open, but also gets replied. Number 5, a LinkedIn profile, because we're in the business of business and the clients and the marketers that we're targeting live on LinkedIn. So having an optimized portfolio on LinkedIn, not just for connections, but also for being found, is so important moving forward. So these are just some of the foundational assets that are absolutely necessary to your marketing strategy in order to get high-paying clients booked into your calendar on a consistent basis. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, I know you're gonna love my free live training series that I have coming up. I basically go through the entire marketing funnel of traffic, leads, and clients, as well as the 5 secret levers that you need to be pulling in your food photography business in order to make money. And then the best part is it's just 3 trainings full of value and no pitch at the end. So make sure you sign up to that using the link in the description box below.